Sorry for the massive rant, but I've got to get this out before I totally lose my mind. My hands are shaking like hell and I've rewritten this maybe 6 times already. Ryan and I have been together 6 years, married for 4 of those. We didn't meet through some dating app or anything like that. We actually ended up getting locked in the storage room of an art gallery after the electronic lock system went haywire. We were stuck in there for over 3 hours with nothing but his protein bar to split between us, sitting on the floor surrounded by sculptures all wrapped up in plastic and cloth. Maintenance took forever to get us out, but honestly, it turned out to be the best way we could have met. We talked about everything Caravaggio, weird pets we had as kids, just random stuff. When they finally opened the door, he looked at me and said being stuck like that was the luckiest thing that had ever happened to him. Then he asked for my number. Life with Ryan has been pretty good, for the most part. 3 years ago we bought a small house together. We've got a decent group of friends and I've really enjoyed building our life side by side. My birthday was just last weekend. Ryan has always gone out of his way to make my birthday feel special. Last year, he surprised me with a weekend trip to Shenandoah. The year before that, he threw this awesome dinner party with all of our friends. But 2 weeks ago, he told me there was some mandatory work retreat scheduled right over my birthday weekend, and there was no way he could get out of it. I was bummed out, sure, but I tried to be cool about it. He seemed genuinely frustrated about the timing and kept going on about how much of a jerk his boss was for setting it up then. He promised we'd celebrate once he got back, maybe take a little trip together. I believed every word. God, I was so naive. The night before he left, he gave me a small gift, just a pair of earrings, and apologized again for missing my birthday. He kissed me and told me he wished he didn't have to go. I watched him pack up all his work clothes and his laptop. He even threw in those dumb matching outfits companies make you wear for team building crap. I actually helped him pack. Jesus, I feel like such a fool. So my birthday weekend came and went. I spent it alone. Ordered DoorDash, watched a few seasons of that new show, FaceTimed with my parents who wished me a happy birthday. My mom asked what Ryan had planned and I told her about the work retreat. She looked kind of surprised but didn't say anything more. Now I know why. Come Monday, Ryan came home carrying souvenirs, some fancy chocolates and a little bottle of wine from the retreat. He rambled on about boring meetings and trust falls or whatever. He seemed a little wiped out, but he acted happy to be back. Everything felt normal until Kayla texted me out of nowhere. We're not close friends or anything, more like friendly acquaintances. So when she messaged, "Hey, call me when you're alone," I didn't think too much of it. I figured something awkward had happened or she just needed to vent. When I called, she was quiet at first. Then she asked, "Is Ryan home?" I told her no. That's when she said okay. I wasn't going to bring this up, but I saw something on Instagram and I don't know what to make of it. Then she said she recognized Amber. I didn't get it right away. Recognized her where? She let out this sigh and said a mutual friend had posted a casual story from a spa over the weekend. Just some chill poolside footage. But, in the background, she swore it was Ryan and my sister. She sent me the screen recording. And sure enough, there they were. Ryan. And Amber. My own husband. My sister. Clear as day in the background. His arm around her. She was leaning into him. He was rubbing her back. They were laughing. Smiling. Relaxed. Happy. Like a damn couple. Meanwhile, I was at home, alone on my birthday, thinking he was off at some boring corporate retreat. I swear I've never felt so stupid in my life. I must have watched that 10-second clip on loop 100 times. I couldn't believe it. But it was definitely them. No doubt. He was wearing that same dumb vest I packed for him. And Amber? She had on the earrings I gave her for Christmas. You really can't make this crap up. All that time they were at a spa together, wrapped up in each other like nothing else mattered. Like I didn't even exist. I still don't know what hurts worse, the cheating itself, or the fact that they didn't even bother to hide it. This wasn't some slip-up. It wasn't a drunken mistake. He didn't care enough to lie well. And honestly, I never would have known if some random girl Kayla barely knows hadn't happened to record a story at just the wrong time for them. After that, I checked our joint bank account. There was a $1,400 withdrawal the Friday before the weekend. No spa charges, no travel expenses. Just a big chunk of cash gone. Then I logged into his personal account. I have the login for emergencies, but there was nothing suspicious. That's when I remembered my birthday money. Every year, my grandma sends me $1,000 in cash. I had tucked it in my wallet to deposit later. I checked and it was gone. I got suspicious and called the spa, pretending I needed a receipt for a work expense. The lady on the phone was super helpful. She looked up the reservation under Ryan's name and confirmed the dates. It was their romantic weekend package for two. Total bill? $2,426. Paid with $1,000 in cash and $1,426 on a credit card. That's when it hit me. That cash? My birthday money? The rest? That $1,400 withdrawal. He must have used it to pay off the card after the trip. He stole my birthday money to take my sister to a damn spa for a romantic weekend. When he got home, I showed him the videos Kayla sent me. His face went pale, then turned bright red. He started in with the excuses. Amber was having a tough time. She needed someone to talk to. He was just trying to help. I didn't say a word. I just pulled up the spa reservation details and held it out for him to see. Then I asked about my birthday money. That's when everything changed. It was like watching a mask fall off. His whole expression went cold. He admitted it, admitted everything. Said he and Amber had been seeing each other for months. Then he laughed while I sat there crying. Said I never deserved a gift anyway. That at least Amber knows how to keep a man happy. I walked straight into our bedroom and slammed the door behind me. After that, I could hear him whispering on the phone, probably calling Amber to warn her that I knew. That was 2 days ago. I haven't said a single word to him since. He's tried talking to me, flipping back and forth between being defensive and throwing out half-hearted apologies. This morning, he left for work acting like it was just another day, but yanked his jacket off the hook real hard when I didn't say goodbye. I haven't called my parents. Haven't said a thing to Amber. The only place I've told this is here on Reddit. Right now, I feel like I'm living someone else's life. But the part that keeps playing in my head over and over again isn't even the cheating. It's the fact that he stole my birthday money to pay for their little romantic getaway. Who does that? Just thinking about it makes my hands start shaking again. I want to throw something. Last night, around 4 a.m., I found myself Googling divorce lawyers. I've started taking screenshots of everything, the bank records, the spa booking, the video, all of it. Honestly, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do next. Do I confront Amber? Call my parents? Toss all his crap out onto the front lawn? Sorry for the long post. I just needed someone to hear this. If you made it this far, thanks for reading. If anyone out there has been through something like this, I'd really appreciate your advice. First update. Hey, it's me again. Honestly, I didn't think that many people would even read what I wrote. I posted it around 3 in the morning, shaking, crying, just needing someone, anyone to hear me. I figured maybe a couple strangers would say, damn, that sucks, and I'd delete it in the morning. But the support I got? The advice? Even just people telling me I wasn't crazy? That meant the world to me. Way more than I can really explain. So thank you. It's been nearly 3 weeks now since I found out my husband was cheating on me with my own sister. And it still feels like I'm stuck inside some horrible dream I can't wake up from. I said I'd update once I had a clearer idea of what I was doing. So here goes. The first few days were a mess. Ryan and I were just coexisting in the same house, barely speaking. He kept trying to talk to me, saying things like, we need to talk, or can we please just sit down? But I couldn't even look at him. I didn't want to hear more lies. I'd either walk away or pretend I had earbuds in. I was just numb. Then out of nowhere, my sister Amber texted me. Sent some weak excuse of a message, I'm sorry. It just happened. Like she tripped and landed in my marriage. Come on. This didn't just happen. She made a choice, over and over again, 4 months. She knew it was my birthday. She knew I'd be home by myself. She knew exactly what she was doing. And that's all she had to say? I didn't even respond. I just forwarded the text to my mom with a message. Ask Amber what this is about. I wasn't ready to explain it all myself. But I knew my mom would press for answers. And wow, she did. Less than an hour later, my phone was blowing up. Texts. Calls. Voicemails. Mom. Dad. Even Amber again. I let it sit for a bit before I finally picked up a call. My mom was already crying by the time I answered. She told me she called Amber, and Amber confessed. Said it had been going on for a while, that they'd caught feelings. I told her the rest. The spa trip. The money. The video. All of it. She got quiet after that. Then asked if she should come over. I told her no. I needed space. Then my dad called. And that one hit different. He didn't say much, just asked if I was safe, if I needed money, anything at all. His voice cracked halfway through and that just broke me. I hadn't cried all day, but hearing him like that shattered me. A few hours later, our family group chat exploded. Amber came clean to everyone, but tried to spin it into some kind of tragic love story. Said they didn't mean for it to happen. Said they fought the feelings, that they didn't want to hurt anyone. Daniel, our older brother, wasn't having it. He tore into her, called her delusional and selfish. My mom sent about 5 shocked face emojis and nothing else. My dad just said he was profoundly disappointed. I muted the chat. I couldn't take any more emotional whiplash. Around that time, I realized I needed to pull myself together. So I reached out to a friend of mine who works at our bank. I didn't tell her the whole story, just said things were a little rocky and I wanted help getting a better understanding of our finances. She walked me through it all. And that's when I realized the spa trip? That was just scratching the surface. Ryan had been sneaky for months. There were little withdrawals labeled as groceries, but our fridge stayed empty. He claimed work travel, but the dates didn't match his calendar. Turns out he had 3 credit cards I didn't even know existed, all under his name. And he added me as an authorized user on 2 of them, but made sure the cards and notifications went only to his email. He even told the bank not to issue me a physical card for simplicity. So I never got a card. Never got a statement. Didn't even know those accounts were in my name. But with my friend's help, I pulled the transaction history. There it all was. Fancy restaurants I'd never been to, weekend Airbnb rentals, and even a $500 necklace bought just 3 days before Amber's birthday. Seriously? I confronted him the next morning. He went defensive real quick, said I was too controlling with money, that he needed some freedom. When I brought up the credit cards, he claimed they were for emergencies. Yeah. So hotel stays and jewelry for my sister count as emergencies now? I lost it. I grabbed his favorite mug, the Darth Vader one, and chucked it at the wall. Smashed it to pieces. He called me crazy and stormed out of the house. We haven't really talked since, except when he's yelling or sulking around like a teenager. The next day, I booked a consultation with a divorce lawyer. She was calm, professional, and incredibly helpful. Told me what documents I should gather. Advised me not to leave the house just yet. Said I should start keeping track of what's bought with joint money versus personal spending. It was overwhelming, but it gave me something to do. I also went to urgent care and got tested for STIs. Everything came back negative, thank God, but having to explain why I needed the tests was humiliating. While all that was happening, Ryan started trying to win me back. Flowers. Apologies. Let's go to therapy. We can fix this. When I didn't respond, he switched tactics. 1 minute he was moping, the next he was acting like I was the one not trying. He bounced from fake sad to passive-aggressive to stone-cold silence. Then came the real kicker. I came home early one afternoon, there'd been a power outage at work, and I walked in just in time to hear him on the phone in the kitchen. He didn't hear me come in. He was telling Amber, just give her a little space. I'm handling it. Once it blows over, we'll figure it out. I didn't say anything. I walked in, grabbed my water bottle, and left. He knew I heard. He hung up quick but didn't try to stop me. That night, I called my cousin Logan. He owns a rental place that's empty right now while he works on renovations. I didn't even get halfway through explaining when he said, "It's yours. No pressure. Pay what you can." I cried again, but this time it was from relief. Since then, I've been moving stuff over slowly while Ryan is at work. Just the essentials, documents, clothes, sentimental items. I opened a new account at a completely different bank. I'm setting things up so I can leave cleanly when the time comes. Last weekend, Ryan ordered some overpriced watch online, $300, using our joint account. He said it was for looking professional at work meetings. Yeah, right. Just another ego boost while everything's falling apart. Delivery was set for yesterday. Normally I'd be at work, but I swapped shifts last minute and was home when the courier showed up. Out of sheer curiosity and a little spite, I signed for the box. Opened it. There it was, shiny, ridiculous, and expensive as hell. At first, I thought I'd just leave it on the table as proof of his ridiculous spending. But then I thought, why should I? That money came out of our joint account. I didn't want to make a scene or break any laws, so I looked up the store's return policy. Turns out, as long as the item was unopened and I had proof of purchase from a shared account, I could bring it back for a refund, no questions asked. I drove to the nearest branch that same day with a screenshot of the receipt from our online banking. The clerk barely said a word, just scanned the code, confirmed the purchase, and sent the money right back to our joint account. It showed up within the hour. But I'd already set up alerts on our account, so I knew the exact moment I needed to move my half over to the new bank. He probably won't even realize anything's missing until the next time he tries to show off. Right now, Ryan is actually at a real work conference. He has no clue the house is half empty, that I've got divorce papers ready, or that he's about to walk into the harshest wake-up call of his life. I don't know what's coming next. I'm scared out of my mind. I'm furious. But somehow, I'm also ready. And that means something. Thanks again to everyone who listened. I'll update again once things start moving forward. Second update. It's been about a month since I last posted and a lot has gone down. When I left off, I was gearing up to leave Ryan while he was away on his trip. I'd already moved most of my stuff into my cousin Logan's rental house, returned that stupid expensive watch he bought, and had the divorce paperwork drawn up. Well, I did it. And the fallout? Yeah, it's been a hell of a ride. The morning Ryan was supposed to come back, I went through the house one last time. I only took the stuff that was clearly mine and a few sentimental things we'd bought together, stuff I couldn't bring myself to leave behind. I didn't touch the furniture except for one thing, my grandmother's old reading chair. That piece has been in my family for generations. I left the divorce papers right on the kitchen table with a short note on top. You were right. I don't know how to keep a man happy. But apparently neither does my sister. Next to that, I placed my house key and wedding ring. Then I walked out and didn't look back. That first night in the new place felt surreal. I felt like I was watching someone else's life from the outside. I turned my phone off because I didn't want to deal with the mess I knew was coming once Ryan got home. When I finally powered it back on the next morning, I had 30 missed calls from him. 14 from Amber. 7 from my mom. The voicemail started off confused, "Hey, where are you? Did you go to your parents?" Then shifted into anger, "What the hell is this? We need to talk. Now." And finally, desperation, "Please call me. I'm sorry. We can fix this. I made a mistake." Amber's messages were all about how Ryan was distancing himself, how she didn't understand what was going on, asking if I'd talked to him. She had no clue I'd already left and served him the papers. My mom's messages were gentler, just checking to make sure I was okay, saying Ryan had called them looking for me. I finally texted her back, told her I was safe but needed space. I didn't respond to Ryan or Amber. Around noon, my lawyer reached out to let me know Ryan had already contacted her office. She reminded me not to speak to him directly about anything involving the divorce and to forward all messages to her instead. Honestly, that boundary was such a relief. The next few days were chaos. I was juggling utilities, updating my address, and letting my job know about my new contact info. Ryan kept flipping between blowing up my phone and going radio silent for hours. I kept screenshots of everything but didn't answer a single message. Then came the first real curveball. 6 days after I left, Amber showed up at my workplace. I was heading to my car after my shift when I spotted her leaning against a lamppost in the lot, arms folded, eyes red like she'd been crying. When she saw me, she straightened up and started walking over fast. I almost kept walking. Every part of me was telling me to ignore her. But then she called my name, loud enough that a couple coworkers looked over. I didn't know where else to go, she said. She didn't outright ask for help. Instead, she launched into this drawn-out story, how Ryan had gone cold, how he promised her all these things and then disappeared, how our parents were icing her out. "I know you hate me," she said. "But you don't get it. He used me too." I thought he really cared. It wasn't an apology. It was her playing the victim, trying to make me feel sorry for her. I saw it in her face. She didn't come to make amends. She came for validation. She wanted me to tell her it wasn't all her fault. When I didn't say anything, she stepped closer and lowered her voice. "You're not the only one who got hurt, you know." I looked her dead in the eye and I felt nothing. No anger. No sense of justice. Not even pity. Just emptiness. I told her I couldn't help her. That maybe she should call our brother Daniel. When she reached out to grab my arm, I yanked it away hard. She stumbled back a bit. Then I got in my car and drove off. Later that night, she texted me from a number I didn't recognize. "He's changed. I think he still loves you. We made a mistake." I stared at that message for a long time. Then I took a screenshot and forwarded it to Ryan, didn't say a word. He called right away. I didn't answer. An hour later, he texted me. "It wasn't like that. She's lying. I never loved her. It was just physical. Please talk to me." I forwarded that to Amber again without comment. Maybe it was petty. But I wanted both of them to see exactly what the other was saying. Just a taste of what it feels like to be betrayed. About a week later, I was served with Ryan's response to my divorce filing. He was contesting everything property division, the reason for the divorce. He even tried claiming I'd abandoned the house. My lawyer said this was pretty typical at the start, just a negotiation tactic, and not to stress. But what Ryan didn't know was that I had receipts for everything. Every shady charge. Every lie. Screenshots. Photos. Texts. Even a few recorded conversations where he admitted to what happened. And we had people willing to back me up. My lawyer seemed really confident. Said we had a rock-solid case. 3 weeks after I left, I finally sat down with my parents in person. They looked drained. My dad gave me this long, tight hug. My mom couldn't stop wiping her eyes. They told me they'd had several talks with Amber. She was staying with Daniel for now, but things weren't going well. She kept insisting that she and Ryan had something real and that everyone else was just overreacting. Apparently, Daniel's wife was about ready to toss her out. I told my parents about the divorce process in my new place. Reassured them that I was okay, financially and emotionally. Not totally true, but they didn't need more to worry about. Then my dad said something that stunned me. He told me they'd already spoken to a family lawyer about removing Amber from their will. I told him that wasn't necessary. She's still their daughter after all. But he was firm. Actions have consequences, he said. We raised both of you better than this. For weeks after I walked out, I got an update from my lawyer. Ryan had taken out a large withdrawal from our joint savings account. Around $8,000. Thankfully, I'd already transferred my share by then. But still, it felt like he'd stolen from me again. My lawyer acted fast. She filed a motion to freeze the rest of the joint assets and asked the court for temporary financial protections. The court date was set for the next week. But just 3 days before, something changed. Ryan's lawyer reached out. Suddenly, he wanted to work things out. No court, no drawn-out fight. He said he'd agreed to the property division I proposed if I agreed not to list adultery as the reason for the divorce on public record. My lawyer told me it was a solid deal. I'd get everything I asked for without dragging it out in court. But something felt off. Why the sudden change of heart? Why was he so concerned about the divorce records? I told my lawyer I needed time to think it over. That evening, I got a text from an unfamiliar number, Amber again, using a friend's phone. Ryan's boss found out about us. He's in trouble at work. Please don't make it worse for him. And just like that, the real reason for Ryan's sudden urge to settle clicked into place. His job had strict rules about personal conduct, especially for someone in his position. If I filed for divorce and cited adultery in the paperwork, with specifics, it could very easily cost him his career. I told my lawyer I'd agreed to settle under one condition. Ryan had to pay all legal fees, including mine. His lawyer pushed back, we went back and forth a few times, and finally landed on him covering 77% of the total. We were scheduled to sign the final documents the following week. Yesterday was the first day I didn't cry. Not once. I went to work, grabbed lunch with a coworker, came home, made dinner, watched a show, and went to bed. Just regular stuff. Small stuff. But it felt like progress. This morning I woke up to 14 missed calls from that same unknown number Amber had used. I haven't listened to the voicemails. I don't need her explanations. I'm done with all that. Later in the afternoon, while I was grocery shopping, I got an email from Ryan's company. Not HR, but their legal department. Apparently, Ryan told them I was spreading false rumors about him at work, including accusations of infidelity. The email came off as a standard fact check. They said they were launching an internal review and just wanted to verify whether the claims were true. I stared at that email right there in the cereal aisle, long enough that a store employee asked if I was okay. When I got home, I forwarded it to my lawyer immediately. She called me within 15 minutes and said we'd respond officially but carefully. Together, we drafted a short, professional statement confirming that I had, in fact, filed for divorce based on clear evidence of infidelity, and that I had never discussed any of it at Ryan's workplace. We attached some lightly redacted screenshots and a copy of the spa receipt, just enough to make the point. The email was clean, factual, and firm. We sent it, and an hour later we got a generic out-of-office reply. So now I wait. Later that evening, my brother Daniel called to check on me. He mentioned Amber had finally moved out of his place. She's staying with a friend now, though he doesn't know who. He said she left the guest room in a mess, makeup all over the sink, stained bedsheets, and even a burn in the carpet from a flat iron. While we were still talking, I got a notification. Ryan had posted on Instagram for the first time in weeks. It was a moody photo of a whiskey glass with some dramatic quote about storms and self-discovery. I almost laughed out loud. 5 weeks ago, that kind of post would have wrecked me. Now it just feels pathetic. This is the same man who laughed while I cried. Who stole the birthday money my grandma sent me just to sneak off with my sister. Who told me I didn't even deserve a gift. Now he's out here playing the sad boy on social media. I'm still living in Logan's rental, but I've started looking for my own apartment. I've been browsing Facebook Marketplace for second-hand furniture and even signed up for one of those meal kit services, trying to stop living off takeout. Tomorrow, I have a meeting with my lawyer to go over the final settlement agreement before Ryan signs next week. She thinks we've covered everything but wants to double-check for hidden assets or debts. I know there's still a long road ahead. The divorce won't be officially final for a little while. But at this point, Ryan and Amber wanted to act like grown-ups. Now they're learning what grown-up consequences look like. And honestly, that feels like justice. Last update. I've gotten a lot of messages asking for updates, and I've been meaning to share one. I promised a final post once everything was settled, so here it is. First off, the divorce was finalized last month. Once his company opened an investigation, Ryan finally stopped contesting everything. In the end, we divided our assets almost exactly as I had initially proposed. I kept my retirement savings and personal stuff. He kept the house, but he had to refinance to remove my name from the mortgage and pay out my share of the equity. We split the remaining joint savings, minus the $8,000 he had already pulled out, and as agreed, he paid 77% of all the legal fees. It was expensive. It was exhausting. But it was fair. The most unexpected part came the day we finalized things at the courthouse. Ryan asked through his lawyer if he could talk to me for 5 minutes. My lawyer didn't recommend it, but I agreed as long as we stayed inside with security nearby. He started by saying he wasn't trying to win me back. He just needed me to know he understood how badly he'd screwed everything up. He asked if maybe someday we could be on speaking terms again. I told him probably not. But I wished him well. That last part wasn't entirely honest. I don't wish him harm, but I don't exactly wish him well either. I just want him to stay where he belongs in my past. As for Amber, well, that's Messier. After Daniel kicked her out, she bounced between friends' places for a while. Most of them got tired of her quickly. According to my mom, she'd stay up all night drinking wine and crying about how unfair everything was, but wouldn't actually take steps to change her situation. Eventually, she moved back in with our parents about 3 months ago. It's been rough. My dad barely speaks to her. My mom is stuck trying to hold the peace. Amber found a job at a call center. She says she's saving for her own place, but progress is slow. Hard to save anything when you're dropping half your paycheck on Sephora and Uber Eats. We haven't talked directly since she ambushed me at work. She sent message after message from different numbers. At first, it was defensive, you don't understand what Ryan and I had. Then it shifted to desperate, please talk to me. I miss my sister. Eventually it turned resigned, I know you'll probably hate me forever. I haven't replied to a single one. Most of our extended family knows something went down between us, but not all the details. They haven't pried. Well, except Grandma. She's the one who sent the birthday money Ryan stole, by the way. At Christmas, she cornered me and said, whatever Amber did, just remember forgiveness is for the forgiver, not the forgiven. I nodded and changed the subject. I love Grandma, but she doesn't get it. Some betrayals go too deep for hugs and well wishes to fix. As for me, I'm doing okay. Some days better than okay. 3 months ago, I found a small 1-bedroom apartment with great sunlight and a tiny balcony. Last week, I went on my 3rd date with a guy I met through a friend. He's a radiologist at the Children's Hospital across town. He knows the basics of what I've been through, and he hasn't run away screaming yet. We're taking things real slow. But it's been nice. It's helped remind me that not every man is a disappointment. The biggest surprise in all of this has been my relationship with my brother Daniel. We were never close growing up, 6 years apart into totally different things. But through all this, he's become my fiercest protector. When Amber tried to spin her story at a family dinner I didn't attend, he shut her down so hard she left crying. Now he calls me once a week just to check in. And his wife, she's become more like a sister to me than Amber ever was. A few weeks back, I ran into Ryan at Target. I gave him a quick nod and walked away. When I got to checkout, The cashier told me someone had paid for my items. I knew it was him. That afternoon, I donated the exact amount, $86 and some change, to a local women's shelter. Same thing with the money from the watch refund I mentioned earlier. I used it to book a solo trip to Costa Rica for my 30th birthday. I'll be staying in a little beach cabin, just me and the ocean. No drama. No noise. I deleted my old Instagram. Too many memories tied to Ryan and Amber. And started a new private one with just close friends. I've started actually cooking again. Not just heating up frozen stuff but real meals. I don't know if I'll ever repair things with Amber. Some days I think the sister I loved died the moment she betrayed me. Other days I think back to when she was a little girl following me around begging to borrow my clothes. And I wonder if that old connection might still be buried under all the damage. Maybe time will tell. But I'm not in any hurry to find out. Thanks for sticking around and listening to my story.